we've got a little bit of a water intrusion problem going on here. We noticed last night while we were sitting inside the cabin, and it was just coming down, just bucketing, as the Aussies say. But the water wouldn't drip inside unless the wind was also blowing. So when it was pouring rain and the wind was blowing, all of a sudden we'd start to hear a little drip and a hiss. Water was hitting the stove, right? And then we looked up and we could see that the water was kind of coming out around the flashing and down on the edge of the pipe. So I think what's happening is where the chimney pipe comes through the heat sleeve, the wider pipe, the water's kind of driving in there because there's only a small little rain cap on the top of it. That's really only the diameter of the pipe. So there's not really any overhang or protection. So when the rain is driving, it's just getting into the chimney pipe and around the edges. And then it's weeping down inside the roof and dripping on top of the stove. So I'm gonna pull up the gasket up top. I never actually properly caulked it. I just put like a butyl tape underneath it and screwed it down. And I also didn't have enough screws, so I'm gonna add more screws. And then I'm gonna put it down again, make sure, adjust the pipe, make sure everything's good where I want it. And then I'm gonna properly caulk in the gasket, as well as up around the edge of the pipe and where the gasket cinches to the pipe. Okay, I'm gonna take the top off.
Yeah.
And then I want you to go downstairs and put a little bit of pressure on this part.
We're going up.
And I'm gonna push this edge down, so push the pipe down.
Can't you just leave it? It's sitting on the stove right now. Can't you just push down?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna take this off.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put my hand on the pipe,
Yeah.
the inner pipe, and
Yeah.
then I want you to push this part up, and I'll tell you when it's like flush, right?
Okay.
And because this has like ceramic wool in it that's like tight against these pipes.
Yeah.
So once we adjust that, it should just hold itself, and then the weight will all sit down on the stove, right?
Okay.
So just go inside, and then I'll yell when I'm ready here.
Okay.
Okay, so this little cap here is pretty useless with the tiny little rain thing on it. I need to get a bigger one, or one that's like a wind directional one that blocks the wind and the rain, and then the smoke comes out the back. You know, it's kind of got like a hood on it. So I'm gonna look into getting something better for that. Worst case scenario, I might just have to put a little screen here where the prevailing wind blows the rain, just to block the rain from getting in. Very rarely has it been windy from this direction. Well, the whole time I've been out here, I've been paying attention to the wind, and it's always coming down that valley. So, okay, Adam, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, push it up. Yep, keep going. Keep going. Okay, stop. Hold on. Yeah, that's a lot better. I can live with that. Okay, so this part here had slid down a little bit, and the pipe was like only showing about half of the air space here. So I've got that lined up a little bit better, but I do need to put, I don't know, because I have to take this thing off to clean it. You can see that the unless your wood is hardwood and it's bone dry, the creosote buildup starts to clog this, so I have to be able to remove it. But the water is also getting in right between the flue pipe and this little flashing edge here, and then it's dripping down into the ceramic wool and getting down into the cabin. So yeah, I think I just need to get a bigger shield with a proper hood on it, protect from that driving rain, then we'll be good. So sort that out another day. For now, I need to, I've got some high heat sealant here, stove and gasket cement. So I'm gonna caulk this down, put a bunch of screws in it, put another bit of caulking around the edge, and then also caulk this joint right here, and then we should be good. So I'm adding some wind braces here, which are also going to help support this heavier part of the chimney because it was starting to droop down again. Even just after a few minutes or half an hour of me trying to caulk this all, it had slid down again. So I got it pushed up, and now I'm going to put in some of these little braces here. I made these for my little dock ladder, but they'll work for this too. So this will hold the weight of it, and it'll keep the wind, which dominantly comes from that direction, from rocking this thing back and forth. The stainless is tricky, so you gotta drill through it. Now I'm taking a rubber washer off of a roofing screw, and I'm gonna put it underneath the aluminum and then one on top. That way the water can't weep down, get in through the threads, because these roofing screws have a little metal washer over top of a rubber washer that compresses. But I've got 2 layers of metal here, right? So the water could get underneath here and on top. So I've got to put a rubber washer underneath and on top. Probably wouldn't hurt to put a bit of caulking. I'll probably put a little bit of caulking on the back here just so water drains away from it. That ain't going nowhere now. This is sturdy. More than enough for the wind. Yeah, when I originally installed this, I didn't follow the instructions to a T because I was out of screws and I was in a hurry, but this is what you're supposed to do, is screw every like 1.5 or 2 inches, plus the sealant, heat sealant all the way around the outside and around the chimney there. So that should be holding the water out now. And then the wind bracing is just an extra bit that I added. Hey guys, time for another shameless Odie's oil plug. This video is brought to you by Odie's oil. Rub this oil on your wood to make it look good. If you want to get your hands on a jar of golden glory, just click the link in the description box below. And for those of you who own a jar, I'd love to hear what you think it smells like. To me, it smells like a honeybee awakening from winter hibernation to make love to a field of wildflowers beneath a fiery orange sunset sky. What do you think it smells like? Okay, so this composting toilet experience of mine has been an experience, to say the least. Not saying it's Sunmar's fault. I know that I have made some mistakes as well. But I bought the plug-in toilet that I found a used one. I thought maybe it'll work not plugged in. It's not ideal. If you have a plug-in Sunmar, you want to plug it in. So what I've done is I've got the non-electric Sunmar now. So the difference between the two, as far as I know, is that this one is a bit smaller. So there's not as much room for the evaporation to take place. And then there's a little fan and a heater in the bottom that helps the pee evaporate, and then the fan blows it out the vent tube, which I never hooked up because I don't have a fan or anything. Don't have any power. So what I've done is I've got the bigger toilet now, and it's got a 4-inch stack that goes vertically, right? So the air just goes up through the pipe. So I got to cut a hole through the roof here, flash in the plumbing or the pipe stack or whatever it is, and then get the new toilet in here. So in order to do that, we got to take this one out, but it's got a lot of poop composting in it. So I'm going to dump a bunch of that into the drawer and then just throw it out in the woods here so that it can turn into plant food. And I'm just hoping there's not a lot of pee in the bottom that's going to slosh out, because last time it was just a mess. There's like a little kind of tray in the bottom, and when you tilt it, the pee just sloshes out the front and makes a nasty poopy pee-pee slurry kind of mess that you don't want anything to do with it. But let's see if we can get this out here without making a mess. So I went to the marine wholesaler. I bought like a little blower, 4-inch inline fan. So this is an add-on. And it just fits inside a 4-inch PVC pipe like that. And then it's 12 volt. So I'm gonna hook that up to the solar panel that I have and just screw that on the side of the outhouse so that whenever the sun is shining, the fan will just kick in automatically. I'll put a little paddle switch on it so I can turn it off if I don't want it running like all day on a sunny day. But that'll help the evaporation process go a lot faster, especially in the summertime, because that's when we'll be using it the most, and that's when we'll be getting the most sunlight, right? So that we want the evaporation to be happening a lot. And then if it turns on at all in the wintertime, that'll be great, you know, on a sunny day in the wintertime, turn on for a couple hours and help that evaporation continue during the really humid months. But my buddy who's got another cabin, an off-grid cabin for several years, he put one of these in. He said it works great, right? So just got to wire it up and then run the pipe through the ceiling and we're good to go. So, flex. So this is how I find my center here to drill my pilot hole through. I'm just gonna eyeball this to be in the middle. Couple Robertson bits. I'm gonna mark the ceiling with that.
How did I know that was gonna fall out?
Thing. Can you go grab it for me? It's a little thing, but it just doesn't actually stay.
Are you doing it right?
It just doesn't stay.
It's just gonna fall out again.
Now you won't fit. You're just in there. You. Like I just had it working. Shit. See if it fits now. Pass it back. See? Fit. Samurai fix, man. Right there.
It's actually on. You can't ride that on the...
Damn you.
I'm sorry.
Can you pass me a board that I can drill through? Like a...
Yeah.
I'm just tapering the inside of the pipe here just to... It's a pretty tight fit with that little blower fan. It's got kind of like a little tapered flange that has to fit in, and it was just catching on the edge there, so that allows it to get started a little easier. So it says that I'm supposed to silicone... Oh, damn it. I forgot that's not dry yet. It says I'm supposed to silicone that. But I don't think that much smell is going to get out through a joint that's pretty snug fit. Any more than smell that's going to just come up through this open toilet seat. So I want to be able to take this apart if I'm moving it or if it's not working out well, and not have it all Sikaflex together, which would just be really annoying, or pipe glue. And I just have to cut everything to take it apart. So I'm just going to dry fit these pipe sections up the wall here. I think that's plenty snug. And drop this one in from the roof.
Steal my glory.
No. I just helped you get it on.
Oh, look at that. Snug.
Do you think the sealant has also stopped water from coming in there?
I think I'll put a little cap over the top. Nothing to worry about here, just a wet roof. A wet metal roof. Safety first. Raining. You take that from me. Well, that actually went together pretty painlessly, other than some issues with the hole saw and not cooperating. But pipes in, straight, I still got to hook up my little blower and get the solar panel and everything going. But everything else is connected. So I'm looking forward to christening this thing here next time I come back up. Thanks so much for watching. I'm out.